Hi guys, today we're going to be starting on lesson 25 for second grade. So our first topic we're going over today is 3-digit subtraction. So let's start with our first example, which is number 1. We have 500 minus 199. So like always, let's rewrite the question so we can stack it vertically, because we can see and we can align the different place values in each number. So let's look at our ones place right now. We have the ones, the tens, and the hundreds place. So let's look at the ones. We have 0 minus 9. If you have 0 things, you cannot take away 9 things from that. So we're going to have to regroup. We're going to have to take 1 from the tens place. But if you look at the tens place, we also have a 0 minus 9. So you can't really take anything away from there. So what we'll have to do is we're going to have to regroup from the hundreds place. So let's take 100, make it 4, and move that hundreds into 10 tens. Now we have 10 instead of 0, tens in the tens place. And in order to do the 0 minus 9 in the ones place, we're going to have to take away again. We're going to regroup. We're going to have to take a 10 and move it into the ones place. So now we have a 4 in the hundreds place, a 9 in the tens place, and a 10 in the ones place. So now we can subtract. We can do 10 minus 9, which equals 1. Now if you look at the tens place, we have 9 minus 9, which is 0. Sorry, it's getting a little messy. 10 minus 9 is 1, and then 9 minus 9 right here is 0. And then the hundreds place, we have 4 minus 1, which equals 3. So the answer to this question is 301. If you want to check your answer to make sure you did it correctly, you can add these two numbers together. So let's try that really quickly. So in the ones place, we have 1 plus 9, which equals 10. So we'll regroup. Then we have 1 plus 9 again, which equals 10. Regroup again. Now we have 1 plus 3, which equals 4. 4 plus 1 equals 5. And we do get the same answer as the number we started with, so we did the question correctly. Let's go over one last example. Let's go over number 5. 247 minus 164. Now let's look at the ones place. We have 7 minus 4. If you take away 4 from 7, you'll get 3. In the tens place, we have 4 minus 6. Since we can't take away 6 from 4 because we don't have 6 things to take away, we'll have to regroup. So what we're doing is we're moving 100 into 10 tens. And that makes the 4 a 14. Now if we do 14 minus 6, you'll get 8. And then in the hundreds place, we have 1 minus 1, which equals 0. So the answer to this question is 83. So that's basically how you do 3-digit subtraction. Let's go over place value now. So the directions say to write the value of the digit that's underlined. So let's start with number 4. We have the number 7,644. This is the ones place, the tens place, the hundreds place, the thousands place, even though we didn't go over that yet. Now, if we look at the value that is underlined, we have the 4 in the tens place that's underlined. It's the tens place. And there's a 4. So that means we have 4 tens. And 4 tens is basically the same thing as 40. So that's basically the value of this 4. This 4 is equal to 40. Now let's go over, also, because there are also questions where we have thousands and 10,000s, another way you can see this is we have the number 7,644. We have the 4 underlined, so we're going to take that 4 exactly, and everything to the right of that becomes a 0, and everything to the left of that also becomes a 0. So you can just ignore everything to the left of it. And this is basically 40. So that's another way you can solve this. Let's go over number 8 as well. We have the number 90,570, which is a very big number. And the number that is underlined is the 9. Oops. Right here. So again, everything to the right of that number becomes 0, and the number that is underlined stays the same. So this becomes a 0, this becomes a 0, the 7 becomes a 0, this remains a 0, so we have 90,000. I'm just going to rewrite that over here. Don't forget to keep your commas as well. So the value of that 9 is 90,000. So basically what you're doing is you're keeping the number that's underlined and making everything else into zeros. Now let's go over time. We have number 5. We'll go over that as our example. And it asks us to draw 12:20 on the clock. So if you don't remember, the numbers on the clock represent the hours. These numbers represent the hours, which is right here. And the numbers for the minutes is actually 5 times the numbers on the clock. So each number here stands for 5 minutes. So basically what we're doing is we're starting with 0 at the 12, and we're adding by 5s. If you add 5 to 0, you'll get 5. If you add 5 to 5, you'll get 10. If you add 5 to 10, we'll get 15. And so on. So we're basically skip counting by 5s, or we're just adding 5s each time. So each number on the clock itself stands for 5 minutes, which is the minutes. So because the time that's given to us is 12:20, we're going to have to point the minute hand at the number that is 20 right here. So we're going to point it at the 4. And remember, the minute hand is longer than the hour hand. A way to remember this is the word hour is shorter than the word minute. So the hour hand is shorter and the minute hand is longer. Now we'll draw the hour hand, which is 12. So we'll just draw the number 12 exactly, point it at the number 12 on the clock. So that's how you draw the time. And lastly, we'll go over a word problem. We have number 2. It says Mia and Alex are making bracelets. Mia's bracelet is currently 4 inches long, and Alex's bracelet is 7 inches long. Whose bracelet is longer by how much? So let's see whose bracelet is longer first. We have Alex's bracelet, which is 7 inches, and Mia's bracelet, which is 4 inches. If you compare the two, we know that the number 7 is bigger. So there's more inches in Alex's bracelet. That means that the bracelet is longer. So Alex's bracelet is longer. If you think about it on a ruler, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This isn't the exact size of an inch, but if this is Mia's bracelet, let's say this is 0. This is Mia's bracelet at 4 inches. This is Alex's bracelet at 7 inches. Alex's bracelet is longer. Now we have to find out how much, by how much. So we're looking for this difference right here. How much longer is Alex's bracelet? In order to do that, we're going to find the difference between Alex's bracelet and Mia's bracelet. So 7 minus 4. So we're looking for 1, 2, 3. We know the answer is 3, but let's write it out. We have Alex's bracelet, and we're finding the difference between Alex's and Mia's. We're going to subtract. 7 minus 4 equals 3. And sure enough, if we look here, it's 1, 2, 3 inches. So the answer is 3 inches. So that's basically how you solve these questions. And thank you guys for watching, and I hope this was helpful.